first. Yeah. Other than that, yeah,
never have to.
Yeah, they.
Second guess this feeling. Take your time and let him in. People just wanna be happy, but they don't know how to break through. They don't know how to break through. They can't help the way they feel, but I know the truth. And it starts with you. Way down to the side. Way down to the side. Way down. Way down. Way down. Way down deep inside. Way down to the side. Hey. Way down to the side. Way down to the side. Way down. Way down. Negative feelings. Moments of insecurity kill the real thing growing inside of me. It's the dream manifesting, incubating blessings. No more stressing, no more stressing. People just wanna be happy, but they don't know how to break through. They don't know how to break through. They can't help the way they feel. I know the truth, and it starts with you. Way down to the side, way down to the side, deep down in your soul. Way down, way down. You gotta let it go. Way down to the side, way down to the side, way down, way down to the side, way down, way down. Look yourself in the mirror. Way down to the side, way down to the side. Way down to the side, way down, way down. You can do it if you try. Way down to the side, way down. You can do it if you like. Way down. Don't stop. Don't stop living. Don't lose all your oil. Keep on going all the way. Don't you worry. Keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on. Don't you lose yourself, 'cause I believe in you. I said I believe in you. You gotta keep on, keep on, keep on, keep on. You gotta love you. You gotta love yourself. So much more, so much more. So much, so
You're listening to Elevations Radio, your station for uplifting lifestyle and wellness talk radio.
Live at the Cleveland Improv. Hey, wait a minute. Where's the explosion? Live at the Cleveland Improv, only one night. It's that neighborhood funny man. Your boy, your friend, your host, your cousin.
Rap medium cool TLC, baby.
Cleveland out there, hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. In the house, real nails don't even have shit makes noise. Y'all lying, that's still all the glue in here.
One night night, one show with that neighborhood funny man, Rap Median Cool TLC. Doors open at 6:30. Showtime is at 7:30. That's the Cleveland Improv, located at 1148 Main Street, Cleveland, Ohio. For more information, call 216-696-IMPROV. What up, y'all? This your boy, Rap Median Cool TLC. It's gonna be off the chain. You know how I do it.
I said, hey now, you got to go now. You got to get.
Views expressed on shows are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its management, or other advertisers. Use of these shows and all services provided therein are for personal use only. The Elevations Radio Network holds no responsibility for the validity or accuracy of information on these shows.
Hey fam, welcome to the Let's Be Real show with Greg Bam Reaves here on elevationsradio.com, home of the best indie music you will find online. I am your host, Greg Bam Reaves. If you're listening earlier and you heard the commercial Cool TLC down in Improv, that is tonight. Tonight, after my show, of course. But it's tonight at the Improv. Go down and check him out. That's my boy. He used to MC for me back in the day with the Iceland crew. And we got for those of you that are tuning in right now, expecting my guest to be Keezy, we had a little scheduling conflict, so he'll be here in 2 weeks. But you need to stick around because I got a great show lined up for today. First off, let me get the positive news out the way, positive black news. Stacey Abrams easily defeated Stacey Evans in the Georgia Democratic gubernatorial primary Tuesday that attracted national attention. Now, Abrams will attempt to make history by becoming the nation's first black female governor and Georgia's first woman governor by winning the general election in November in a state that Republicans still dominate. Now, she said, "We are writing this chapter of Georgia history where no one is unseen, no one is unheard, and no one is uninspired," Abrams told supporters in Atlanta Tuesday night at her victory party. Now, let's go get it done. I like that. Positive black news, especially with my sisters getting it in down in the ATL. And speaking of the ATL, I'm going to get right to my guest. I'm very excited to have Miss Nicole Borden, better known as Nicky Purple. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I feel like it's a benefit. It's an honor to always go back home, and you know, home is my foundation. So I had to come here and see you guys. Right.
Now we were just talking about Stacey Abrams running for governor in Georgia, and Nicky Purple, a native Clevelander, but current Atlantean. Is that how you say it? Georgian. I don't know how to say that, but you're now in Georgia. How long have you been there?
I've been in Georgia since 2009.
Okay. So welcome home, I should say.
Yes.
And we got some good home. ATL hot Atlanta weather for you. I don't know where you're listening from right now, but I'm going to tell you the weather is absolutely gorgeous here in the land. People always say don't complain about the heat because it doesn't matter. It's not going to change the weather. It's hot. And I'm lightweight complaining, but I'm not for real. But anyway, let's get to Nicky Purple. First of all, where did the Nicky Purple come from? Purple.
To be honest with you, I have several different gifts, several different sides. That name was actually presented to me from a rapper, and I just owned it from there. Okay.
And for those of you that's watching on Facebook Live, you can see she has purple locks in her hair. Now, Nicky has an incredible story and testimony. First of all, I'm going to read you the information she sent me. Okay? I already told you she's a native Clevelander. She and her 3 children now call Atlanta home. Professionally, she has acquired many hats, licensed hairstylist, licensed real estate agent, and most recently a budding advocate. Nicky Purple has an undeniable magnetism that has led her to walk in her purpose. As an advocate, she used her voice to promote women's recovery from life injuries. I also saw a video. She was out protesting about the murder of Anthony Hill, and we'll get into that later. Also, Nikki is now a published author. Her debut book has been a lifetime in the making. As life dealt continued surprises, some good and some bad, Nikki knew that she would have to bear her truth to help another woman who might be struggling. Through a collection of short stories, poems, and notes, Nicky Purple challenges readers to recover from any situation. Still Beautiful is essentially a two-way journal for women to spend time in reflection so they may recognize their beauty. Awarded for strong character and making a difference throughout Georgia. That is great. And since I mentioned the book already, let me let you all know she has a book signing coming up May 26th, Saturday, 6:30 to 8:30. And this is at Soso Picasso, 3335 Broadview Road, 44109. I'll repeat that before the show is over, and so go check her out. And her new book, Still Beautiful. Now, I have to mention the first video I saw. The first one you sent me. I had heard of all kinds of makeovers, but I never heard of a dental makeover. Okay. Would you like to tell our audience about that?
Absolutely. So the makeover actually, Dr. Bill Williams, who is, I believe, the number 3 humanitarian in the United States of America, who's also a dentist.
Okay.
Created the program Deserving Divas to women all over the world who have strong character and making a difference. And to be entered in the program, you have to have the most recommendations or endorsements. Mm-hmm. And then from that pool, they narrow down to about 3 to 4 people who they feel like is that deserving diva, and to pretty much go in, reconstruct. Everybody's case is different. It just so happened with my makeover, it was one of the severes that they had ever done.
Right.
So it was definitely a realigning of my I It was also implants. Just about majority of my teeth are all implants, brand new. I had a lot of abscesses. If you was to see my smile and you didn't know me, you would be like, my smile was worse than a crackhead smile.
Right, yeah. And if you watch the video on YouTube, it's on YouTube, you'll see what she's talking about. But now, was this like a lifelong thing or just developed?
Actually, it developed, which I have so many stories, so I have to kind of speak like Jesus Christ spoke in parables. And
right.
So it's going back all the way to when I was gang raped here in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. From that gang rape, there were some objects that were stuck in my mouth, and the severity in the force caused my teeth to chip and to break and to shift. Mm-hmm. So at that time, I did not address it. It got worse. So pretty much one thing led to another. And literally, I want to say about 2 years later, I started having children. So from the damage that happened to my teeth to having children, it took a lot of the, I think the doctors, Cleveland Clinic, they kept testing me, just make sure there wasn't nothing wrong, but it took a lot of iron. So with the 2 things, after I had so much testing done at Cleveland Clinic, that pretty much was the root of my teeth being in the condition that they were in.
Wow. Phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518. Now, okay, going back to the makeover. Okay. Obviously, your teeth didn't stop you from getting out there getting things done.
They absolutely did not. Now, to me, to be, I always knew that I wouldn't be working in somebody's office. That just wasn't for me. And it's, nothing personal against people who work jobs. You got to have some form of income. Right. But for me and my gifts, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Right. And that is what I pursue. So to be an entrepreneur on the front line, every day, and the first thing people look at is your smile is a huge cross to bear. How can you talk about business and you look like that? No, Nicole, everything sounds great over the phone, but when they meet you in person, it's just a heavy cross to bear. So, I would tell people that first and foremost, you have to believe in yourself.
Right.
That can be challenging at times because at the same time you're believing in yourself, you're also looking in the mirror, and the mirror is showing you what, that reflection. So I would say from there, it is really tapping into who you are, what you are, and where you want to go. And then as long as you keep, focused and keep listening to those 3 channels,
right.
Again, the road was extremely bumpy, but you will get there.
Yeah. Now, I lost my front tooth when I was 17, and I was without it for 17 years. Wow. And I went through a little thing. This is only one tooth, but still right in the front. And that was just one. And I used to love to smile, and for years, I never smiled. People thought I was so mean. Mm-hmm. But then I remember telling myself, if I can communicate better, nobody will even notice.
Right.
And after a while, they didn't, and I didn't. Until I brushed my teeth in the morning, then obviously,
Yeah.
So how did you go through that process of, you got these goals, you want to be an entrepreneur and all that, and how do you get past this issue?
Well, I would say, I guess, again, I have to compare, and I have to really bring up people like, I think the young man name is Vic, who has no limbs. And so many other people, it definitely was a handicap. And I think whatever it is your strength, you have to focus on your strength. So for me, my strength has always been to make a difference in the world. My strength has always been my compassionate heart. My strength, was always tenacity and perseverance. And it was, I was just really, really focused. So I focus on those strengths in spite of my handicap or my limp, or in spite of my smile, even though the smile was the first thing that everybody seen.
Right.
And that's why I compared it to.
But it wasn't
that.
the first thing you saw in yourself.
Oh, absolutely. Right. The first thing I saw in myself is that I was a butterfly.
You know what's amazing about that? So many people don't want to look back because of all the pain, but they don't realize that's where their strength comes from.
Absolutely. Every tree got, I'll say the trees, and not all trees have good roots, but for the trees that have been standing year after year after year, storm, hurricane comes by, they got some strong roots.
Exactly.
Because the house will blow down, but the tree be still standing.
Okay. So you got some poems in here too. You wrote them?
I did.
Okay, so you're a poet too. I add that to the list. Hairstylist, real estate advocate, poet, author.
And to be honest with you, Mr. Greg, I'm actually still learning that I'm a poet.
Okay.
So we can be a masterpiece and a disaster all at the same time.
Right.
So still learning that I am a poet.
Well, every week I feature a poem, so maybe you'll grace us with one of yours before the show is over.
That sounds great. You don't even have to ask me.
Okay.
I'm doing it. I'm here with Let's Be Real with Greg Bam Reaves.
Right. We're about to take a quick break. Listen to a couple or maybe one. I don't know. We're going to listen to some music real quick, and we'll be right back with Nicky Purple.
I'm Carol Johnson from Burlington, North Carolina, and I listen to Let's Be Real with Greg Bam Reaves Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevations Radio.
So 5'5", nice brown eyes, she stay fly. You know what I'm saying? She's so bad, I'm trying to make her mine. What I gotta do to let her know I ain't playing? Cause girl, you been messing with the wrong type of brothers that don't even open doors for you. And I'm the type of man who will treat you like a queen and love you like a man's supposed to. Oh please, give me the opportunity to show you what I mean. Cause I can be your king if you just let me. And I wanna make you mine. Chocolate love. I said I wanna make you mine, mine. Chocolate love. I said I wanna make you mine, mine. Every time she walks by, I can hear the angels singing. Sweet as can be, is this real? I could be dreaming. Cause I've been searching far and wide for somebody I can love and bring home to. You might be the one shining bright like the sun. It's like God kissed the skin on you. Oh please, give me the opportunity to show you what I mean. Cause I can be your king if you just let me. And I wanna make you mine. Chocolate love, love, oh, love, love, yeah. Chocolate love, chocolate love, chocolate love, chocolate love, yeah. Oh please, give me the opportunity to show you what I mean. Cause I can be your king if you just let me. And I wanna make you mine. Chocolate love, 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 love. Chocolate
1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Is this thing on? 1 2. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 1 2. Yeah, 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 yeah. 1 2. Yeah, 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 yeah. 1 2. Yeah. You make me feel like a beautiful girl. I'm so glad that you're in my world. You make me feel like a beautiful girl. You make me feel like a beautiful girl. I'm so glad that you're in my world. You make me feel like a beautiful girl. Ooh, babe, I know it's been a while. Hey, you, something about how you make me smile. Ooh, boy, it's the way you do. Keeps me so damn in love with you. Is this thing on? You make me feel like a beautiful girl. I'm so glad that you're in my world. You make me feel like a beautiful girl. You make me feel like a beautiful girl. I'm so glad that you're in my world. You make me feel like a beautiful girl. Hey, you, my beautiful fantasy. You mean every damn thing to me. So glad that you are my world. Makes me such a beautiful girl. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. You need to hear this. See, I can't even describe how. When you just look at me, I feel like your personal poetry. Go ahead, write on me. You just make me feel so good inside. Write on me. 1 2. Yeah, it's like you just breathe something beautiful in me. You make me feel like a beautiful girl. You make me feel like a beautiful girl. You make me feel like a beautiful girl. You make me feel like. You just make me feel so beautiful. You make me feel so. You make me feel so. Like a beautiful girl. I feel so. Ooh, boy, it's just the things you do makes me so damn in love with you.
And we're back with the Let's Be Real show with Greg Bam Reaves and our guest, Nicky Purple. Phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. That's 440-252-0518. And before we get back, because we're going to talk about this book some more in the book signing, but there's some questions that I posted this week that I wanted to ask my guest about, her opinion. And the first one is, do you think a person who falsely accuses someone should be charged?
Absolutely, yes. If someone is falsely accused, and I think, you know, it would have to start with the city and the state and the prosecutor and for all the cases, drug cases that are padded, and people like Central Park 5, the 5 young men who were spent years in jail for a rape that they never committed, and and to have people like Trump in the newspaper calling for their death. Yes, I do believe that people who are falsely accused, the people who do that, including starting with the system,
right,
should suffer some type of penalty. Absolutely,
I agree 100%. What made me think of this question is recently a football player was arrested and about to go to jail. And his ex-girlfriend admitted that she lied. She said he beat her up, dragged her down the steps, across the street, whatever. Now, some people say maybe she's lying now. Like maybe he reached out or the team reached out and gave her a fat check, a Stormy Daniels type of thing. I think it should go to trial just like he was about to go to trial. Let's see if she's lying. Prove it.
Well, and this one kind of hit home for me, too, because the next thought that I had is I actually have a real uncle right now who's in jail right now. He had just got released here in Cleveland, Ohio, and it came to my attention that someone who he, at one time was dealing with decided to create a lie and go to the hospital. And although he had just came home 2 to 3 months prior, because she went to the hospital, conjured up a story,
right,
and he was on probation. It caused a brand new case while on probation, which is a violation, which got him sentenced, and he is now back in jail.
See, that's to me, something has to be. I mean, you got to do something. You can't just say, "Okay, I lied. My bad. I'm sorry, but I was angry." No. You should have to get a lawyer, get an attorney, and face a judge, just like that person that you lied on had to. There are people who have spent years in prison for things they didn't do.
Absolutely.
And they get out and they get a little settlement. And when I say a little settlement, I'm talking about millions of dollars, which is not little, but it's little compared to. I've only did 5 years.
Okay.
And I lost a lot during those 5 years.
Yeah.
Those years that I can never get back.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't lied on. I did what I did and I paid my price. But I'm saying those people who have spent. I don't care how long you spend in jail. It's too much time. There's no dollar amount that's going to make up for that.
I agree.
And that person, perfect example, the woman on her deathbed that said she lied about Emmett Till. I'm sorry. I would have dragged her old butt right out of that bed and put her in prison.
Wow.
Die in there. That's what you do.
That's
I'm sorry, but I just think that's
wow.
Okay, let me move on before I
look. Yeah, because that's a great example. I mean, no millions of dollars can replace the sleepless nights, the memories you lost with your children and your family and your wife. It's just there's no compensation for that.
No, it's not enough. I was looking. Tamir Rice's mother is doing some great things, advocacy and all that right now. And she was awarded $6 million. I'm pretty sure she traded in and have Tamir back.
Absolutely.
And where's the cop? I mean, he may have gotten fired. I don't even know what happened to him. He's not in jail.
No, he never went to jail. And
that's something I'll always struggle with. You pay $6 million saying that he was wrong, but he don't get punished. He just get fired or whatever.
But
so,
if you do it,
oh yeah,
you go to jail.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Wow.
Yep. And on that line, my next question: what should happen to people who call 911 for nonsense?
Wow.
Now, obviously, this question comes from the barbecue lady, but it's not just her. It's a lot of people that call 911. A woman sleeping in a dorm.
Right. That's what I was just about to talk about. The young woman, intelligent young woman at Yale who was sleeping, in her dorm. And the first thing the lady said is, "I have a right to call the cops." Well, when And why do you call the cops? You know, I think there needs to be some type of learning tool. You know, I don't know if we need to have kind of like one-on-one classes, you know, once a week. This is when you call the cops, and this is why you call the cops. And, you know, so we have to first think about, you know, before we escalate a situation, is it even worthy of us picking up the phone and actually dialing the numbers?
Right.
So you got Airbnbs, you got barbecues.
You know, they just did it in Mayfield, right?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Panera Bread.
Yeah.
Okay, so they did it here in Mayfield at Panera Bread. You know, wearing a hoodie in the rain, golfing at Grandview, renting an Airbnb. I mean,
Yeah.
we can't do anything. Now, just imagine if we created a movement where now we're going to call the cops on white people. If they're in Dunkin' Donuts and they're not eating a donut,
yeah.
I'm going to call the police.
They'll change the law and we'll go to jail.
I'm going to change. I'm going to
taking up
call
their
the
time.
police. You know,
It's called creating a public panic.
Yeah. Creating public panic. But see, let me go on the other side of this real quick. You're the 911 operator. What is this person saying to you that you want to actually send a patrol car out there and they say, this black woman is sleeping in the dorm? And you actually send a car there? I mean, what did she say to make you actually send a car there? There's a trespasser at Yale? Really? Yale? Maybe at Kent. You can get that off, but Yale, I doubt it. But I'm just saying, these 911, like the one we were talking about, Tamir Rice, never told them that the man said it might be a toy. Never said that. Never relayed that it was a kid who might have a toy. And that absence of information may have cost that young man his life. So I'm wondering, these 911 operators, are they trained right? What are they being told? They say, oh yeah, a woman calls and say, hey, they're barbecuing in the park. Send the police. You're actually going to...
But they avoided it for 2 hours, though. So it's not... John Michael.
Yeah.
I couldn't even say it was the police in that instance because they blew her off as hard. The guy even said the fire department drove past and waved.
Yeah.
No one was paying this woman any attention.
Yeah.
And I commend the authorities when they do not play into it because it makes the racist person look like...
No, but I'm talking about the 911 operator
911
that told them to go
right,
there.
911 has to do their job. They're clerical workers. You know what I'm saying? They take the information, they pass it on. But when they don't play into it, then it takes the power away. So when you look at LA Fitness, they didn't play into it. They said, all we do is we here to diffuse the situation. What happened up here with the Panera Bread, they said they went over to greet the lady, said thank you for your service because she was an elderly woman who'd been in the military. Those officers were not going to disrespect her.
Right.
So those Panera Bread workers look like fools. And that's what I can respect when the officers don't play the game. When they play the game is when you have Waffle House.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you have, what else happened?
The list goes on and on.
When they play the game, that's when you have the issue.
I don't know. For me, it's like, because I know they don't send out every single call. Like when we call 911, you know what I'm saying? It depends on what you say, whether they send
Yeah, I don't think
a
they came
car
off
out
a
there.
barbecue lady until she started saying, they're pushing on me. And she started acting hysterical.
Yeah.
Then someone finally came. But
Because while you're sending a car to this student sleeping in Yale, there's somebody getting robbed
Absolutely.
over here that car could have been going to. Some real, you know what I mean? And they are responding so often to nonsense. You know, Trevor Noah, he told a joke about it. Like, they should charge you $1,000. Like, so if you call 911 and you get charged $1,000, if it's legitimate, you get your money back. If it's not, we keeping your money. He was talking about just white people. And it was a joke, but it made a lot of sense to me in a way. Like, maybe they'll think twice about calling the police on nonsense. I don't know. This is one of those things I think it's getting to be too much. Anything we do, sleep. I keep going to the sleep one. I mean, how non-threatening is that to be sleep and wake up to the police? Like, I'm in a dorm. I'm not like on the street. I'm not in nobody's yard. So anyway, phone lines are open at 440-252-0518. And also this new NFL policy for kneeling. For those of you that are not aware, the NFL have approved a policy that if a player or staff member of an NFL team kneels during the national anthem, that team will be fined. They give you the option of not coming out on the field during the national anthem, but if you're on the field and you do not kneel, your team will be fined, and it'll be up to your team to decide any further action towards you.
Well, I'm going to say in regards to that, I do believe it was the NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell said. I'm just going to read off this statement.
Okay.
It's pretty powerful what he said. He said the players can choose to remain in their locker rooms if they want to protest the anthem. But we want people to be respectful to the national anthem. We want people to stand. That's all personal, and make sure that they treat this moment in a respectful fashion. So that was a good deal in what he said in regards to that policy. So I only reference that because their concern is about the anthem.
Yeah.
Their concern should be about life. Their concern should be about racial profiling. Their concern should be, now that we have stories, breaking stories every 5 minutes, that, a lot of people only experience people of color through a very distorted lens.
Right.
So in saying that, and you can prove that through media, popular culture, and politics, the NFL has a lot of people of color. So because these people of color are also their players, who are also their employees, who also make them money, who also buy their mansions, because of them or the sports that's being played, it's very financially benefiting. So the concern should be about life, because America, we're supposed to all have the same rights. I have the right, to talk to a police officer if he approaches me respectfully, but not the right for that police officer to pull me and drag me up out of my car.
Right, yeah.
So they should be concerned that throughout America, we're not treated fairly.
Yeah. Especially when the majority of their employees are people of color. I to add to what you said, I believe their concern is that dude in the White House. I don't say his name. And I definitely don't give him the title president. I just say that dude.
That's right.
And they're concerned about that dude. He did get them tax cuts and made them a lot of money. And they're probably saying, well, so are my players, because they're in a tax bracket where they're getting a lot of money too. But the players aren't concerned about the money. They got guaranteed or, semi-guaranteed contracts. They're going to get paid. So they're trying to stand up for their communities where they come from before
That's right.
they got there and got paid. I think this is absolutely ridiculous. You took the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance out of schools. Now you want to demand it on employees who are basically individual contractors, pretty much. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it angers me. It really does, because you're like forcing me. And when I say me, I'm talking about the NFL players and staff. You're forcing me to not protest. You're telling me I can't protest. In other words, you're going by what, I can't remember that woman's name, said to LeBron, shut up and dribble. Right. That's what they're saying. Shut up and play football.
Right. And it's funny you bring that up, because that's an excellent point, Mr. Reeves. I think about the many protests that I've done, and when I see us protest, where sometimes they go in and put orange cones around the area to map out a guideline of where you should protest and where you should not go over. It's the same thing where they're controlling the space, and they're also silencing us all at one time. So they're definitely putting some boundaries. But again, if a person kneel, that is their right, and we all have rights. I mean, so I don't understand.
And they're lying. They're making this about something it's not about. They're saying it's about
They're saying it's
disrespecting
about the
flag.
anthem.
Yeah,
But
disrespecting the flag,
it's not about
disrespecting
the
our
anthem.
troops. This has nothing to do with none of that. It's saying we aren't being treated fairly in this country. Do something. That's all it's saying.
That is exactly what it's saying. When you think about again what we have been experiencing just years and years and years and years, and when people like Colin, kneel down, and he's a free agent now, and you just think about they're looking at it like, oh, this is a conflict of interest, and it's political, and the people out in the audience don't want to see that, and so forth. But I mean, I think that's all BS. I don't think it's about making the crowd feel a certain type of way, and it's going to be disappointing, and I think it's where they're literally trying to control. They're taking our voice away, even though taking a knee is not a voice, but it's a voice where if someone's looking at that and they're sitting down and they're watching TV, it's going to make them think because of that person's position and title. So it does have an influence.
Yeah.
But if they're not doing that, now they're being fined. A person can't even they can't even stand to use their influence to make a change, to bring about a change.
If you were a white parent and your child said, "Mommy or Daddy, why is he kneeling?"
That's right.
And you have to explain. Are you going to explain it correctly? Or are you going to pass that propaganda? Oh, he's just being disrespectful to the troops.
That's right.
No, why don't you tell him the truth? That he's kneeling because this country doesn't respect his people.
That is correct. That's correct.
It makes me angry because I love football. But now me and millions of others, we got to make a choice. They've issued the challenge. We could do whatever we want to. You still gonna support this? You know what I'm saying? And right now, it's hard for me as a football fan because the Browns finally got a little hope. But it's easy for me as a black man. Like, man, I can watch something else. I could do something else. I don't have to watch football on Sunday.
But just think about it. I mean, because right here, I'm here in Cleveland right now, but think about in Atlanta, again, a former football player, who, and I do apologize, I can't think of his name, so I do apologize, but had an incident where the police pretty much picked him up, slammed him.
Yep.
He got injured. I do believe something even, he has some effect on his teeth. So when you think about it, and this is all coming from, I don't know if he was a
racism. He didn't do anything wrong.
He didn't do anything. I'm trying to figure out where was the thread. What was the purpose of them escalating that situation? What was the purpose of them bruising that young man? He was a football player, and when you think about it, it's like at some point we have to use everything. We're the biggest consumers. We're the biggest consumers. Yep. So many people who look like me play football and basketball, and we have to decide, is it more important to kick a football, or is it more important to represent life?
Yeah. And to go all the way back, because our time is running short, and I wanted you to talk about your book release party, but to go all the way back to the very beginning of our conversation about Anthony Hill. Remember this, people. This man was butt naked, and was killed. He was looked at as a threat. What was a threat? His manhood? Because obviously he wasn't in his right mind at the time. So you killed him because you were jealous? I mean, what? The man was naked. So you can't sleep, you can't be naked. Okay, anyway, thank you so much for coming here and sharing your story with us. And tell the audience one more time about your book signing.
My book signing is going to be this Saturday in Cleveland, Ohio, my hometown, born and raised from 86 and Quincy. Woodland, Fairfax community. Special shout out to Miss Dion, who owns Josephine. Miss Cassandra McDonald of District 8. Also this lovely radio station, Let's Be Real, with Greg Bam Reaves, and the wonderful producer, Miss Robin. Audubon, all my Audubon friends, and John Hay, I love you. I choose to be just an avatar of hope with wings. We need to see hope, and we need to see more than just surviving. We need to see people who are thriving. So the book launch is this Saturday, May 26th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at So Picasso. So Picasso does have an Instagram page, SO Picasso 3335 Broadview. That is on the west side, right down the street from the zoo.
Mm-hmm. Thank you once again so much. We're gonna have to have you back. We could do it over the phone from Atlanta. You know what I mean? Because I'd like to see what you're doing next. Absolutely. You got so much going on. I'm waiting on the movie rights so I can write the script. I'm a script writer and all that too.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do want to. It's funny you mentioned that because I still go back on 86 in Nevada, and get footage because I do want to make a movie in regards to Cleveland and where I'm from and the hood. And, I'm just a Rose who grew up from the concrete, like Tupac say.
Okay.
So definitely interested in the movie, Mr. Greg Bam Reaves.
Right. We're going to get that done. Thank you all so much for joining us today. And like I always say, develop your hunger for knowledge and feed it. Pick up a book and read it. Set a goal and see it through. And always, always believe in you. Peace and love, fam.
Some gal out of my league. Guess them out of my league. The truth I gonna hurt them. You see me, Jimmy Choo, it brand new. Brazilian, ask me a few. Vera Wang, a fake couple grand shoe. Lim girls stand up, cause this a hot girl song. While we a shop overseas, them a shop overlays. Gucci perfume while them wear for breeze. But them a hype over, that's a the lace. That's a the lace, that's a the lace.